When you feel pressure to perform, pressure to show up, pressure to fix something, pressure to learn something, pressure to manifest more money, pressure to bring in more clients. Anytime that you feel pressure, you have got to stop, because all you're doing is literally choking. When you choke, you can't breathe. When you can't breathe, you know where that's going to go. Well, you're doing the same thing to source energy that's trying to come through to save you. Let me speak on that for a moment. There is a God that stands all around you. And it wants for you to remember, I read this in A Course in Miracles this morning, and it is fantastic. If we would just, I won't give it to you their way, because it's a lot of verbiage that is hard to understand sometimes. But at the end of the day, we here as humans think that this life's experience is all there is. And it's so not right. It's so not truth. And we think that the most expensive thing that we can conjure up here, the most expensive thing, that house that's the most expensive thing, that car that's the most expensive thing, that trip that's the most expensive trip, fails miserably in comparison to the value of the treasure that Source has to offer us. There is no way to even comprehend the amount of abundance that does surround us. Because we can't, human brain here, hello, can't comprehend it, it's hard to understand. So what is it? We can understand the humanness of this because it's a little bit easier to see or to latch onto. But this energy has everything that you could possibly want and desire. Everything, anything and everything. Nothing is off limits. Nothing is too big. Even the most expensive house that you can find is a drop in the universal bucket. No big deal. No big deal. So you feel pressure. What are you doing? You're choking that energy off from reaching you, from coming in and saying, I'm rescuing you, I'm saving you, I'm here to help you. See beyond what your ego eyes are trying to tell you. It's truth. It's not truth. It's not truth. Surrender all of this. Surrender it all. Because the minute you surrender, the minute you let go, finally you can breathe again. You let go and that burst of energy can finally come through. And it coming through helps you feel relief. And you feeling relief means you're starting to climb that scale of vibration higher and higher and higher and higher towards feeling happy. And when you reach happy, guess what happens? What it was you wanted to bring in can be seen. Seen in the sense of sensing it. Seen in the sense of feeling its ability to come in. You've got signs, you've got synchronicities. Other people are talking about it. Finally, it feels like it's in my grasp because I let go and I let the universe come in and help me. How do we create a desired outcome while we are having pressure? We journal. I had a client today, Jackie. I'm going to just take me off camera when I say this to you. I don't know how to journal. You can't do it wrong. Journaling is your ability to just put pen to paper, to just get out what's going on up here into a book. And you'll be surprised as you start writing your thoughts down, as you start going through how you're feeling, what else comes. See, the universe is going to support you and flood you with things to talk about in your journal. And sometimes it might look like storytelling. That's okay. Sometimes it might look like frustration. This frustration energy is coming out of you onto paper because now you can get rid of it. You can throw it away, discard it, and say, it's not real. It's coming out onto paper. Journaling helps you see what you think you're confused by, what you think you can't understand. Journaling helps you see the lesson you're supposed to be learning in this moment. When you go back and you look at your entry and you're like, holy moly macaroni, there's a lot of frustration here. I want you to kind of grade it like you are the teacher and you're just reading your student's work right here. You're not judging it. You're grading it in the sense of there's a lot of stress right here. There's a lot of control right here. There's a lot of frustration right here. Ultimately, this is energy that we want to look at getting out. How do we get it out? We acknowledge its presence. We understand why it's there. And then as we begin to prove it wrong, I'm not lackful. I'm God in a physical body. Me going to God, if I can create a human form of God and say that this is God, God looks like this to me. God, you are lackful. What? It doesn't even make sense. No one would speak words like that. No one would even associate lack with the almighty universe that's consistently and constantly and always expanding. No one would do that. But yet we think it's okay to do it to ourselves. We think that it's appropriate to apply that label to this one. Not at all. Do you know that if we would start relinquishing these things, there'd be so much less fear? Seen in the world, experienced in the world, felt within us.